Good morning, good morning. Let me take this off so you can actually see me. Hello. There I am. Hello. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I'm just gonna turn off the sound on my phone so I don't get notifications like crazy. I hope you guys are all having a good morning. I almost had everything set up before you guys caught on, but then I thought, oh, I'm going to do this on a bigger thing. So I didn't, but you'll understand in a second. So yesterday we started and we made just a little beaded bracelet because it took me much longer than it should have to string all of those. So, but we will get to that momentarily. Um, Yeah, we'll get to it right now. I don't know why I said momentarily. Hold on, let's go down to the mat. Okay, I don't know how long or all of you guys have been with me, but this is a little wrap that is a variation of one that Linda did on her channel, and I'll show the difference when I go through the entire thing. Obviously, these aren't all the way done because I need to still cut off the tail, but it's quite simply like a figure eight where one side is smaller than the other, and then I wrap it around twice. And I'll explain why. The reason being is that I feel that having the simple loop like tucked down into the two wraps makes it much stronger. And then you also have this side, which is a completely closed wrapped loop. So I will do these as clasps and I will put this on, I'll attach this end onto the chain or whatever material I'm using. And then I will leave the bigger loop out so that you have a wrap loop to clasp onto. So I literally decided that I was going to do this at 8 till, and all I need to do is cut off the ends and tuck them in. So assembly line style is very quick. You can see I have quite a few of them made here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 of them in 8 minutes. So not too shabby. Obviously, I still need to do it the other way. I do want to show you some variation in size. This is one, oops, that I did that is quite a bit smaller than this one. And the only difference is that I used a smaller loop, which I can make them smaller than this even. I've made several chains using 22 gauge wire and literally went to the very end of my pliers for the loop on one side and then scooched it up to about there for the other side. And that allowed it to it allows it to be smaller. Sorry, I didn't have the comments up. So hello, Tammy. Hello, Rosanna, Chris, Carolyn, and Georgina. Congrats on the new great grandbaby, Georgina. That's amazing. I couldn't be happier for you. I can't imagine that, like, I already love my granddaughter so much. So the thought of her having a baby and, like, I just imagine the bond is even deeper. I don't know why. I just think it's beautiful and I love being a grandma. So, or a Gigi. That's what I'm called. Though my kids did say that I jumped the gun with the whole Gigi thing because I should have saved that for when I am a great grandmother, but who cares? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to, I don't know that that's a long enough wire. Again, in case any of you are looking for a good copper wire, this is one. It's like a full pound of copper, I believe. And it's all wrapped up in here. It's completely self-contained. I just pull it out from the center, straighten it, and it's good to go. They have it all the way up one measurement and then back down. But I also recently found some Bear Copper or a Bear Bronze company, because you guys know I was like obsessed with that Bear Bronze wire that I got in one of my mystery boxes. I'm obsessed. I reached out to them, asked if they had any left. They said we do not. I went on a hunt. I was able to find some spools of it on eBay, but I found a vendor that I can use instead that no matter what the size is, because it's by weight, it's the exact same cost. And I love that, because just because it's a smaller wire or whatever else, if you're selling it like by weight, I feel like the price should be the same. Just saying, just me. That's how I feel about the situation. I get it. The thinner it goes, the greater risk of it breaking and everything else. But I think it should be the same price. There was one where the variance was $6 between two of them. Not these. These had a little bit of variance, but not much. But the Bear Bronze company, it's the same price, top to bottom. So they also sell copper wire. So when I'm in need of it again, I may try them out, or I might just buy like one of their smaller spools so I can see if I like it better. But I really like this. So what I'm going to do is give it a little straighten, and I'm going to cut it off using my double flush cutters. I probably just cut the exact same. I did. Exact same size as the loop I had, but it's all right. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to make a larger one just so that you guys can see the process better than when I use a smaller loop. So I'm going to start with the third step. I don't know why, but I always have to roll it away from me. So I'm just going to go to there, and I'm going to wrap it around. Oh, I went to do the third step. Heather, did I just ruin it? Nope, I might have saved it. Okay. Okay, and I go around there, and I might not have made this big enough. And then you're going to point your loop away from the loop that you're going to wrap around. And I did cut it way too short. Okay, hold up. Okay, hold this up to here, Heather, so you know where you need to cut. Sorry about that. Okay, we need more than this. So I just cut a piece that is 4 inches or 10 centimeters. For those of you on the metric side of things. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to, just put it right at the very tip until you can't feel it anymore. And I got to zoom out a little bit because I can't see that. There we go. All right. Once again, till you cannot feel anything, that's where you want to do it. If you feel that it keeps slipping off, what you can do is go to the end, use your box, whatever this is called. I can't think of what it's called. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I saw your, thank you, Rosanna. Box joint, that's what it's called. Box joint here, and flatten it a little bit because that will curl around better. So we're gonna go to the third step again. Oh, what are you doing? And you're just going to circle around that step. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the sixth step. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to come up and around. You're going to rotate it ever so slightly, just giving you enough room between the loop and the other side to wrap around. Then you're going to grab your favorite pair of pliers. And if you've been around here long, those are my Randy pliers. I have 2 pair of the black Xeron pliers. I have the Comfort Casual, like flat edge, works okay. but they all slip off the wire too easily, and I don't like that. So I'm going to show you, this is what Linda did. She just wrapped it around once. My thing was I wanted it to be a little bit more like noticeable so that it was fitting in. And there you go. And like I said, you could alternate between large and small. You can, there's so many things you can do. Don't twist with it. I just want it to go to the side. I don't like to cut at the front or the back. I like to cut on the side so that it stays where it's supposed to. And then you have space to move. Okay. And then all you're going to do, obviously, is open this one up and connect it. So that's what we were doing. I'm obviously doing it on a much smaller scale. So give me a minute so I can cut off these ends and we'll go on with our project. And then I will just tamp them down as I go. And sometimes you do have to straighten them up a little bit. It's just because it's wire. See how this keeps moving? That's why I do it while it's still on the 6-step bail making plier, because that doesn't happen when I do that. And then obviously the more you have to work back and forth and whatever, the harder your oh my gosh, why can't I talk today? The harder your wire gets, and so at that point it can also become brittle. So I'm gonna cut all these off. Sorry guys. We did stringing yesterday, which didn't go well because I was using itty bitty little 2mm beads. Okay, to the side. Come on. Stubborn little monkey here for some reason. Why did I not twist this all the way around to the side? Probably because I wasn't paying attention. Okay. I think that should be enough to get started. And then, oh crud, where did I put those? There. And then I have some smaller 18 gauge jump rings in here that I made myself. And then we're going to create just a couple of really pretty little links using the, spit it out, Heather. Using some of the beads from yesterday. Where are they? The ones I wanted to use. I think I'm going to use these. Do I like that? It's not bad, but there are other beads from the dollar bead box that are better, in my opinion. And we'll go with the copper better. Some of them have more bronze. Yeah, I like these better. Oops. I did a combination. There had to be a couple roommate situations because I was not about to take up that many little jars. So as Becky says, we can just do roommate situations and then we don't have to worry about it. So there were just these really pretty little crystal or fire polish beads that are half copper and they're purple lined. So they're very pretty, and those are the ones that I want to use on this. And they're probably ones that I'm going to end up reordering because I love them that much. Okay, now that we are going down Okay, Chris. Hi, Pauline. I didn't see you come in. I apologize. Did I miss anybody else? Who's Sally? Who are they referring to as Sally? I'm so confused. Okay, I don't know. Chris, here's what I'll tell you. Look for the beetle one with the blue handle. Those do not have a burr on the end at all. I had the same problem. I had the beetle on ones um with the black handles, had the burr on the end, everything else. I saw these, I was like, okay, I read the reviews. They were very complimentary. A lot of people, I've tried their other ones, but these ones are better. Honestly, the Beetle on blue handled ones are absolutely better than any other 6-step filmmaking plier that I've got myself. So if you'd like, I can send you the link later on. Okay, so as I was saying, we are going to go down to the 22 gauge wire for the links just to make it easier on my my arm and wrist. Yeah, this is the 22 gauge wire. Okay, so all I want to do is I want to have these around. Where did they go? Huh, I had them out. Okay, I don't know where the other ones went. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take the larger 4mm one and we're going to put some of my last daisy spacers in that side. So I will go small daisy spacer, large daisy spacer, small. Those are going to be what the links are. And like I said, we do not need very much of them. And the cuts of wire are not going to have to be very long. So I am going to do my hybrid loop where it's not a wrap loop, but it's not a simple loop either. I'm going to do that. Now, what was I looking for? I have no idea. So we'll just get to it. All right, double flush cutters. In case you've never seen them before, when you cut a piece of wire with regular flush cutters. Oh, I did that the wrong way. Now I'll do it this way, that way. Okay, when you cut them, you will have one side that is flush and flat, but if you turn it over, this side goes peaks like a tent. With the double flush cutters, you don't get that. Also, oh my gosh, what were you just gonna say? Also, if you are on a budget and have just started out and can't afford all of the bells and whistles when it comes to tools, your memory wire cutters are also double flush cutters. Just putting that out there. So if you can't afford to get a new tool, but have used memory wire or don't want to, I can send it to you, Chris, after the show. Hi. It's okay, Beth. Hi, Maisha. Yeah, so if you only have the money to get a certain number of tools, you can get the other one. Okay. Now, we're not going to need very long pieces of wire. I would say probably, how long is this? Yeah, this is 2¼ inches, and I think this will be just fine for what we need it to be. So we're just going to bend the wire over, grab your wires. I'm going to go up a little bit because I am going to connect these with thicker jump rings, which I really like the look of. So Sorry, I just did that without explaining it. I will explain on the next one. I always forget that, like, not all people viewing this are experienced beaters, and maybe they're just looking for some assistance. So my hybrid is I don't like a simple loop, but I also don't like the big gap that you get with all of the wraps. It makes your links longer, and therefore they don't like so, and then it doesn't flow as much, especially in a bracelet. That's what I'm going to do. Also, another thing is that I find it is exponentially easier to tuck your ends in once the beads are actually on the wire. You put the beads on, you go back and you go back and tamp it down afterwards, and it's just really pretty. Or it's just really easy. Obviously, you need to be careful, especially because these are all glass beads. So, and then I'm just going to turn it. Again, I don't like the big gap. So I'm just going to do it like I always do. I come up about a millimeter above the last bead, bend it over. Then I take my round nose pliers and, I go into the bend itself. I find that it gives me rounder loops. And then we're just going to take that and we are going to pull it around. So there's one. I am going to take the time really quickly to show you what the difference looks like. Just real quick. In case there's anybody new, I will show you the difference real quick. So I'm just going to bend this over. You also have to use more wire when you do a wrap loop. So I'm going to go in there. I'm still going to keep my loop small and go into the curve of it. And then once you've done that, I like to hold mine with my micro bent shade nose. I'm going to wrap this around the typical 3 wraps that most people do. Like I said, I don't like my cut end to be on the front or the back. I prefer it to be on the side. That way, if there's an issue with it's not visible on the front or the back. And then I'm just going to do the same thing I did on the other one. And I'll show you the difference. And then I'll cut it right off. But just in case. Okay, I'm not off camera. You're good, Heather. I was like, crap, are you off camera again? And then if you're doing a wrap loop, you want some added space. So you'll move the flat nose pliers up and bend over at a 90-degree angle. Come in, go right into the loop, make the similar size loop at the top. And I hold on to this and I wrap it 3 times, just like the other side. I'm going to cut it. Oops. What I'm doing right now is I noticed that one of my loops had a really big gap in it, and I don't like that. So I'm going back to fix it. Okie dokie. Okay, so here are the two links. As you can see, this one is much smaller than the other. I'll go down and measure them real quick so that, okay, Michelle, I can go back and I'll show you the link again. I'm sorry about that. Where's my remote? Okay. So the difference in size, what part did you not see that you would like to, Michelle? Let me know and I will go back and do that. Okay, so the one with the wrapped loops is, I don't know, 1 7/8 of an inch. The smaller one where I just did my little hybrid loop is 3/4 of an inch. So it's not a huge difference, but like I said, this is going to sit much better on your wrist when you're doing it. And I even like to bend it so just a tad. That way it conforms to my wrist easier. And like I said, there's barely a bend. Oops, sorry. There's barely a bend, but then it sits on the wrist more naturally. As you can see, it rolls. So then it just sits on the wrist. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still trying to figure this setup out. Okay, Michelle, which part did you miss? Hi, Tina. The wrap loop. Okay, I can go back and do that again. And I will do it with 18 gauge wires so it's easier to see. Just a second. Or wait, I used 20 gauge wire, not 18 on that one. So cut the piece of wire. Okay. So I'm also going to cut it so I can show you the other side. So this is my hybrid link. Let me move all the beads out of the way so there's nothing that my camera is trying to focus on other than my hand. Okay, so my hybrid loop looks like this. I bend it over, create the 90-degree angle. That's not quite perfectly 90 degrees, but where are my other pliers? Oh, here. I like to go into the bend instead of being up like to where I'm on top of it like that. I like to go into the bend of the wire. It gives me a rounder loop, I find. Then I'm going to go up, over, and down. I'm going to rotate my pliers so they face the mat. And then I'm going to center up my loop if necessary. Then I'm going to grab. Oh, it's okay, hon. This might be a little bit easier for you because it isn't a simple loop and it's not a wrap loop. So this one, I only complete the one loop. Then I go in and I cut at the side to take off the excess wire. I put on any beads, like the kind of beads doesn't really matter much. We'll just do it with that one bead. And then I go up and I leave about 1 millimeter of space and I make a bend. Then I find the same spot on my pliers. I go into the bend and I wrap it around, rotate my pliers and pull it back. Then I just do one wrap. That's it. You don't. So that is stronger than a simple loop. My husband and I tested it, which was kind of funny when we did. We should have done it on camera, honestly, because it was hilarious. And I think you guys would have liked it. So there is my hybrid loop. It still looks nice. It's not I feel like this helps the bead shine more, but you don't have to worry about the simple loop being weak to where if your bracelet gets pulled or your necklace gets pulled for some reason, then your loop gets malformed and or you just have to remake that part of the bracelet. Now I'll show you the wrapped loop. Obviously, you're going to need more wire because you are wrapping around it 2 more times on both sides. Sorry, need a drink. So then we're just going to come down a little bit further. We're going to make our 90-degree angle. I'm going to go, I like to go in where the bend is itself. You're going to go up, over, down, rotate your pliers till they're facing your mat, and you're going to pull the wire out, just like that. Oh, sorry, pull the wire out. Then I like to use my bent chain nose pliers, but not everybody does that. So I put the plier on the loops. The reason I like it is because it keeps the wire out of the way. With the regular plier, you're parallel with the wire, and then sometimes it can be harder to wrap. That's why I like the bent chain nose. So I'm going to put those, flip it. So my non-dominant hand is hitting this so that I have better control with this. Then you're just going to grab, and you can do this with your fingers. I will show that on the other side, but I like to do it with the pliers. And I go once, twice, 3 times. And like I said, I like my wire to end at the side of the bead, which it didn't quite do that. So the difference of using pliers rather than your fingers is that sometimes you can get tighter wraps doing that versus your finger. So we're just going to stick a bead on here, just like this. We're going to move all the tools. And then you're just going, I come up. In this case, I just use my pliers to create the gap, and I'm going to bend out at a 90-degree angle, just like that. Then you're going to take your pliers, come in at roughly the same spot so your loops are complementary, or you can use your 6-step bell making pliers. So you're going to go up, over, down, rotate your pliers, and come out the other side. My loop isn't quite centered. You can see it's off to the side a little bit. So I'm going to rotate my wrist and pull down the wire until it is where it needs to be, which is centered for the bead. Then instead of using the pliers, you can use your hand and you can just go 1, 2, 3 and pull it off to the side. Pull it a little bit too far to the side. And then you're just going to go in with your nippers, get as close as you can. Try to keep the wire from hitting you in the face. Tuck in that end, go back to the other side and tuck in that end. Like I said, I find it easier to do it that way. So those are the two versions. Those are the two like wrapped links. Your other option is to use simple loops. So you're just going to take the pliers, again, the same thing, and you're going to bend it at a 90-degree angle. Then you're going to take your pliers. Oh, wait, nope. You're going to measure about 1/4 of an inch, which most people find that it's right above, right across the top of their finger. Sorry, right across the top of their finger like this. So then that's where they're going to cut the excess wire off. Then they're going to take their pliers based on what size they want. They're going to go to the end, and then they're going to roll it up. And I got quite a, there we go. Roll it up until it's centered on top of the wire. So there you go. Then you can put whichever bead you want on the wire. And then instead of using your pliers, you can just bend it using your finger. Then you're going to use the same measurement for the loop as you did on the other side. You're going to cut. You're going to put your round nose pliers with the tip of the wire in, and you're going to start rolling. So I wish I had had another blue bead right here on the mat so I could have used all of the blue beads, but those are 3 different ways to get a loop on a bead. So it works very good. I am using this, I'm using 20 gauge when I'm doing this. Oh, you're welcome, guys. Yes, Dorothy, thank you. I always forget to ask you guys to like, share, subscribe. It's a bad habit of mine. I get caught up in jewelry making and then I don't, I forget that I'm, supposed to be growing my channel. And then I can't do that if I don't ask people to like and subscribe things. So, okay, now that we have that done, let's go back to our project. Okay, and I was using 20 gauge wire for this. All right. So I'm just going to cut off a few lengths of copper wire. And I'm going to do my hybrid wrap. So I need to make sure that I leave if I'm measuring that way, you need to have space at the end for it to wrap around the wire once. So that's why it's not the same length right here as I would do with the traditional wrap loop. Then you're going to take it. I go, I don't know, about a fourth of an inch in, maybe 3/8. I'm going to go there and I'm going to go up, over, down, rotate my pliers so they're facing the mat, and pull the tail up. Then we're going to go in again. And we're just going to wrap it around that one time. And then we're going to go in and cut that off and make sure that it's not sticking out with any pointy bits. It doesn't look like it is. Okay, and then we're just going to put the 3mm fire polish on that has the copper on it. Yes, my hands are dirty. That happens when you work with copper. I'm looking down, I'm like, oh my gosh, my hands are so dirty right now. So this is just this one is just going to be another really simple stacker bracelet. Again, when you do the hybrid, you want to leave about Heather, it would help if you put the other bead on. I'm sure you are like, Heather, you forgot. So I just go up about 1 millimeter. I don't want too much space because that's the whole point of my hybrid loop, is that there isn't a lot of space between the bead and my loops. Rotate it into the loop, up, over, down, rotate, pull it up, center my wire, and you can flip it right here. You don't even have to take it out if you don't want to. And just do the one loop. I went a little too far, but that's okay. I absolutely recommend that. I learned how to do all of this on half hard wire. That's what I used when I was starting out, because the softer wire was getting marred and it was like my loops would twist the wrong way when I wrapped around, all of that. So I got the recommendation from Kelly Bead Boutique, to use half hard wire. And so I tried it. It helped me get my bearings when it comes to like the different skills in jewelry making. And then I was able to go back towards the like dead soft wire. If you're using 18 gauge, 16 gauge, any of that, you don't need half hard wire. That would be silly. There is like literally no reason to do that because 18 gauge wire is already pretty stiff when it comes to the different gauges. So it, like I said, it would be silly to get the 18 gauge and a half hard. But Beadle has it. You can get it directly from their site, or you can get it on Amazon. I'm still trying to figure out affiliate loops or links. I got loops on my mind, apparently. Because we're using them on everything. Okay, let's see. How many does this make? I think this is only my second because we went to other things. So my bead on, leave a millimeter or so of wire, bend over. Like I said, I didn't even decide on this design until there wasn't very much time left because I was watching Rosanna's. For any of you guys who are newer to the beading community, I would tell you that it would help you build your skills faster. And that's because Randy's on at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Rosanna's on at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm on, exactly, Dorothy. And I'm on at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That is Monday through Friday. It does change once in a while. Like Randy will not be doing a live on Friday, and Rosanna has PT. Typically, Rosanna would bump down 2 hours, and I would as well. So I would have been on at 9, but Rosanna has physical therapy. So I'm doing the Randy's live at 7 a.m. and then Rosanna will be on after me. That still allows you time to like do a little housekeeping, practice a skill you just learned in the other video, whichever else, and then come back and you have more time. Randy is Thunder Horse Descendants on YouTube. I need to have a link with everybody's, like mine, Rosanna's. Let me see if I can do this. I believe hers is just .com/. I hope I didn't spell that right. I believe that that is Randy's, and then Rosanna's would be Garden. What are the Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I was just getting ready to ask you for the. Oh, wait. There's something on my screen. Okay. I think those are the links. But like I said, we all have strengths and weaknesses, and we all complement each other because we do present, teach differently, design differently, all of that. So it would be a really good, like, give it a 2-week crash course in jewelry, and I believe you would be much better. The other person that I would recommend that you follow is Becky Foster. Hold on, let me do this again. And her sister both do videos on her channel. But she's an amazing teacher. She is very kind. If that's the wrong link, it's Bakito Burrito. That is what you're looking up. Or you can look up Becky Foster. The Becky is spelled Beki. So you have to keep that in mind when you go. But she's amazing. Her sister is also this month. She's literally doing a beaded chain challenge where every week she's challenging herself to make 2 beaded necklaces. She did this a few years ago to catch up with her skills when it comes to all things loops. I am challenging myself to do 1 a week. That's me. Her sister is also doing it, who is newer to jewelry techniques and whatever else. I'm afraid I put that in wrong because they just changed their name, but I could be wrong. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Becky Foster Jewelry. Go to their channel. Just in case I did that incorrectly, there it is straight from YouTube. Oh, DGI Designs. Dorothy is also just started her page. Very excited. It's up on DGI Designs. Hold on, I'll go find that one because we got to show all our girls some love. DGI Designs. Do, do, do. Oh, look at that. I wasn't subscribed under my business channel. What is wrong with me? I usually try to follow all of these ladies on both of my accounts, just cause. Oh, you're right. Good. Thank you. I would have felt like an asshole. I'll just say it. It's fine. Do, do, do. And I'm sorry if this is boring. I just like to celebrate my girls. And if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. So I have Randy, Sarah Lovecraft is another good one to follow. Okay. Oh, I just shared about you and your sister. Um, so all of these ladies that I'm showing up, yes, you're absolutely correct, Beth. Thank you very much. Found it. Ugh. Can one of you guys pop that? Okay, I'm back. Oops. I don't know what I hit or how I did that, but I'm back. I don't have my other camera up, but that's okay. Huh. No, it was me. Sorry. Can somebody pop Deb Flores too? Okay, I think that's and Danielle Wicks. Oh my gosh. You gotta check out Danielle Wicks, especially if you would like to do seed beading. That's who I recommend learning from. She is very good. Becky is as well. Um, I'm still not brave enough because I send more beads flying than would even be needed for any given design. My hands just won't work with all of that. So here we go. We are going to need the other camera. What am I thinking? We can't finish our bracelet. Do it. Do that real quick. I don't know what happened. Nothing was unplugged or anything like that. So I'm not quite sure what happened. Okay, I gotta. Otherwise, it won't let me do this. There we go. Okay, this needs to not be right there. There we go. Okay, and we're back. Oh, they don't come up as links? Oh, got you. Okay, so if you need something, reach out to me on Facebook so that I can answer you. There we go. That's better. I need to restart this too. There we go. I don't know why this is seeing my way right now. Okay. So now that my stuff is all messed up because I was digging for that, I have 1, 2, 3. I thought I had one more. It's okay. I will make one more. This is again just a very dainty bracelet that can be worn anytime. It could also be used as, oh my God, as like for a necklace as well. You can do it with that. You could even just do a pair of earrings. Where are the big ones? There they are. I really need to order more of these little rose gold spacers or daisy spacers because I need some. See, I just sent a bead flying. Completely unintentional, but I did. I may have picked up the wrong bead, and that's why that happened. But, or not. And it's just me. Okay. Then again, I'm just going to barely bend it, go about a quarter of an inch away up around my thing. If you like small loops, you guys, the Beadsmith ones that I'm using right now, they are Beadsmith, and I believe they're called their micro pliers. I got them from Bernie, so if you can't find them, let me know and I can grab you some. And if we're going to be having a sale, right, we can either wait to mail them till you tell me, or if you want to wait until you have an order already on its way. I don't know what this is, but it's going to become another link. Okay. We're going to this over. Oh, got you, Rosanna. Okay. I can also drop them in the comments below this, or update the description to this video, after the fact. I got it close with those ones. Oh no, it's small, big, small, Heather. And Rosanna, in reference to the dropsies, I think I may have come up with a solution for that. So we can have a little talk about it if you would like to. Pull it around once. Okay, there we go. Now I have 5. And I have all my little links that I thought I already cut off. Oh, I did cut some off, just not all of them. Why did I? Everything got moved from where it was when I had just. All I did was unplug and replug in everything. It wasn't like that because of something I did per se. So I'm not sure what that did. Okay, so on this one, I'm gonna open. No, I'm connecting these with jump rings. Ooh, almost forgot about that. I could have swore. Goodness gracious. Okay. Okay. If you don't know how to make your own jump rings, apparently we're gonna have a lesson on that this morning as well, because I can't find the ones I made. So grab a piece of wire. I normally do this off of the spool directly, so I don't have waste, but it's okay. I'm just going to use the first step right there, and I'm just going to rotate around. Now, if you need to rotate back and behind your first loop, not in front of, or you will run out of space. And even if you remember to turn it, like try to turn it, I've never been able to accomplish that correctly. So, oh, I know what that was. That was my wire spreaders for tests, just like this. So you're going to keep twisting until you twist up all of your wire. And then I don't like to waste anything. So when I get close to the end, I just grab my flat nose or my chain nose pliers and squish the last end around the loop until it is in place. Ugh. Then we already know that our, oh, I have to do this too. I don't know what I did with it. If I'm being honest, I think I used it just now, which doesn't help much now that I need it. Okay, so you can grab I'm just gonna grab the end. I'm gonna pull it straight. I'm gonna put a 90-degree angle in. And then all I'm gonna do is separate, and I got this technique from Samantha Latimer. Her and Linda from Gun Nut Jewelry as well are amazing. So like I said, I will leave a list, or you can go and join the Beading Besties group. And I will also post I'll put up a post that has everybody's link in it. The Beading Besties Facebook group is listed below in the description. You can share your completed jewelry. You can share your, if you want to tell people that it's for sale, that's fine. If you have a video, that's fine too. Post it up there. If you have a channel or a Facebook group or any of that stuff, feel free to post that as well. There is only one restriction on Beading Besties, other than you have to be kind to people, but that you take care of the money part of it outside of the Facebook group. So if somebody replies to you and says, how much is this piece? You need to go and message them privately in Messenger, and then you can leave a comment that says, I just sent you a message, or I just sent you a message on Messenger with details, and then that can all happen outside. Other than that, you're good to go. You do need to ask membership questions. Otherwise, your application will be denied, because we use that to keep it safe. There are actually answers you have to type out answers to, which is even better than just doing the CAPTCHA or the one where you have to like pick every picture that has a car in it or a bike in it. I always mess those up, and I have to do them like 10 times. I don't like it, so I didn't put it on there. But yes. Aw. Was it one of your this one a story necklace? I'm gonna have to go check it out. And I need to know how you guys set it up to where the followers can post pictures and stuff. Yes, Maisha. Can someone, Beth, will you make me a list, please? Okay, so we're down at the end and this cut is flush. So we're going to start with the flat part of the cutters just past that because you don't want to create what we're trying to prevent. And then you're just going to clip it. You're going to turn it over, your pliers over, clip off just the part that is, might be a little too spread out for these little rings because it's hard to get the pliers in there. So you're going to cut off the tent part of it and then cut the next one. You're going to, oh, I might have just did that wrong. It's okay. You just cut off the thing and you go around and you just make your own jump rings, which I find to be great, especially when you're doing like something like a beaded chain challenge or whatever else, because it makes it so that the wire that you use and any components that you use match completely. So any gold wire, the bare bronze wire, I'm now using copper wire, any that, if I'm doing the wire wrapping, I am making as many of the components as I possibly can. So if I need jump rings, or like I said, I use these same little links for my clasps so that it fits. I make my own clasps sometimes too. If I can't find something that matches the metal that I use, then that's what I prefer to do. I'll do like a figure 8 hook or something like that. However, I need to do it so that it matches the rest of my wire work. I'm also going to try to set up, I got to figure out the affiliate link first, but once I do that, Jenny sent me some, she was so sweet and sent me the link. I just haven't had the mind space to do that today. Okay. I hate when you have chapped lip and your lipstick goes from lipstick to like goop on your face. Don't like it. Okay, we have our links. We have our jump rings. We have our, yeah, we have our links. We have our jump rings. And we have our beaded links as well. Oh, that one's not staying put together. Okay. Yes. All right. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab some pliers. These are Beadsmith. These are Randy pliers because I get them from Randy at Thunder Horse Descendant. So I'm going to grab one of my jump rings. I'm going to put it through the loop on the beaded component, and then I'm going to attach it with the link like that. And then I'm going to close up, I'm going to close up my jump ring. And then I'm going to grab another jump ring. I'm going to attach to the other side. And then I'm going to put another beaded link on. Ooh, I must have poked myself with something. Another jump ring. Grab the beaded link. Okay, now I got to remember which one I set. Okay, so the big side towards the big side goes that way. Okay, and then we're gonna grab another jump ring. I thought I messed something up in my pattern, so I was double checking. We're going to go in through the link and in through another beaded link. And yes, everything just went flying because the fabric on here got messed up. Like I've said in every video, this week and last, I need to go and get my need to go get some new bead mats. Another link. I must have switched directions because now it's the small link I need to go in with. So that must be what I did. There's nothing more satisfying than that click. This does not look straight. So straighten this out before I add the bracelet. Otherwise, it's not going to lay correctly. I don't know what I did with that one. Something though. Okay. I'm sorry if it confuses you when I change directions and then it's the different size to it. I apologize for that. I did not mean to make it confusing for anybody. I'm not changing the pattern. I'm not going one direction on one and then the other direction on the next one. It's just me picking up, putting down. That's all it is that's causing that. Okay. Sorry. I know, right, Rosanna? For the jump rings, I used 18 gauge. I like to use the smallest, strongest wire that I can, and I learned that from Kelly at Kelly's Bead Boutique. So the jump rings are 18 gauge, and then all of the links, they were made with 20 gauge, as well as the beaded link. I hope that made sense. And that I didn't confuse you more. But yeah, I like the thickness of an 18 gauge an 18 gauge jump ring, even though the rest of the metal throughout the piece is smaller. Sometimes I do that on purpose just to add a little bit more visual interest within the piece. Okay, put this last one on, or what should be the last one, because I still got to make my clasp. Oh, good. I can put a link on other end soon. Yes, that will definitely be enough to finish off this bracelet. So pull the rest of the way around. Clip that down. Be careful when you're tucking in your ends that you're not heavy handed and then you end up squeezing the top loop not only out of its little cubby right there. Sorry about that. Here's the camera. I keep going to the top of my light is the problem. Because if you squish too hard, it's going to compress this loop down. Okay, I gotta work that off. It's driving me nuts. take advantage and get all the dirt off. Anyways, okay, so now we need another jump ring. Open that just a bit more. This side is still that. And then I'm going to check how long this is so I know if I need to. So I know if I need to do another beaded link or not. Also, if you are new to beading, if I put another link, I'm gonna make this bigger and do an S hook. It would be, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more beaded link real quick. What was I gonna say? That was important. What was I gonna say? There you are. That's 18 gauge. Heather, what are you doing? Actually, when I made my links, it looks like I might have done them with 22 gauge and not 20 gauge. I apologize about that. I just gave you, or am I crazy? And I did use 20 gauge and just took it off my desk. I do think that I used 20 gauge for the links. It just wasn't on my desk anymore, so I thought that was wrong. Okay. Let's do one more beaded link real quick so you guys aren't stuck with me. Yeah, it really is helping. Oh, Chris, have a good day. Thanks for coming. Shirley, it really is a great way to expand your knowledge on all of them. Okay, I just missed one. Oh, Jenny, I'm so happy to hear that. I know that you weren't a fan of your wire wraps, so I'm glad. And no, I did the challenge. I was like okay at doing wire, but then I joined Becky's challenge the first year she did it, and I didn't have a YouTube channel at that time. So I just did it on the side, by myself. And same thing with last year. And then this year, I'm just going to do, I might do more than one. I'm going to record one. And then just show different options that I did. Oh, those are both big, Heather. That's why it's not fitting properly. It might have been a mistake to throw all the beads in together at the same time before I was done designing. I could have just kept them in something else for the time being. But, that would have made things easy on me. You've been doing some beautiful pieces. I've been in her corner and no, it's not too late. And actually, Becky has a video. I think hers is the last one I pulled up. No, hold on. Wow, I looked up quite a few. Oh, no. I'm gonna see where her video is. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to click that. Dang it. I was seeing if I could find where she talks about, here it is. Share, copy the link, go back over. That is the link where she explains everything about the beaded shade challenge. Wait, why is there? That's the way it came up. Nope, that's the way it came up. Okay. That's where she explains everything that is, she explains the entire like premise and why she did it and all of those things in that video. So it'll be a great way for you to get a better understanding of it, instead of, us muddling through. But Becky explains it very well in that challenge or in that video. So see, this is why I use pliers. My dexterity is not the best for this. Something must have just gotten delivered. Hey, Cooper, no. Cooper, no. I know she's out there barking. Tough luck. No bark. Sorry, I was muting you while I told my dogs to hush, the ones that are not in here with me, which I have the worst barker in here with me because yesterday he was a little terror. So another jump ring. Why did you put those down, Heather? You need those to do this. Do. I'm going to touch it on this end. Now we can just do the clasp using bigger loops so that it I don't know what I'm trying to say, sorry. Too bad this isn't like a full-on chain, because then I would have my challenge already completed, and I'm a week behind, so I'm gonna get it because I just need to. But Heather, what are you looking for? Oh, I was gonna put another one of these on one side, and then my class would go into that. So I'm actually gonna wait to cut that off until after I put the loop on. Okay, I think it's this way. Nope, it's the other side. I was opening the wrong side. So this will go on this. Wait, no, what are you doing, Heather? You need to attach the clasp, whatever that's gonna look like. Oh, you were gonna do it. I'm sorry. For those of you who are new, I have a condition called Durgan's disease, which causes memory issues. And sometimes it comes across like I have no clue what the heck I'm doing. And it's just because I can't, like, I completely lose my train of thought. And sometimes it's hard to like go back to what I was saying, even if people in the comments try to tell me what I was just saying, it still sometimes is not enough for me to like grasp it. So I'm gonna add a little, I'm gonna add a clasp on. Even though she's retired, you could also go on Kelly's Bead Boutique and watch some of her older videos. That's absolutely like, I would highly recommend it. Okay, see, this is why we test lobster class. Was it just stiff? Nope, that's coming off. And I will find one that works. Oh, really? No, I know. I just meant this is a bracelet, not a chain. That's all I meant. That it's a beaded bracelet and not a necklace. So, and I think that it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be necklaces. I could be wrong. Also, I want to do one. Okay, you won't come off. Okay, this class is better. So we're gonna take this one. But the other arm, if a bracelet counts, we can call this my first beaded chain item. And then I'll do a necklace for the second one. Didn't open that far enough. But oh, yeah. Like I said, I want to let people know about her chain challenge and everything like that. So we might count this for week 1, but yeah, I might go back. I'm also using 18 gauge for this part, and I'm gonna have to join it on before I can twist it. Do the little wrappy wrap. So now we just squish, close that back up, hold on to it, and then, sorry, I'm off camera. No, I just did this completely wrong. I think this is still enough wire. That's such enough wire. At least I can laugh at myself, right? If I couldn't laugh at myself, I would be a lot. See, I wouldn't be able to be online if I couldn't laugh at myself. But it's the memory recall issues that keep me from, yeah, I did it wrong again. That keep me from some of the newer skills, because I literally have to do them over and over and over again in order to grasp the concept, unless it's an easy one, obviously. Okay, we're gonna do this right the first time. We're gonna go around the second step for the small loop, and then I'm gonna point that away, and I'm gonna go around the, let's do the fourth. Fourth. Yeah, we're gonna go fourth. Bend it up, rotate it slightly just so it's past the loop. Wrap once. Let's squish this in because it doesn't appear to be squished in very well. Okay, and there we go. We have our second little wrap. Go around the corners so that the cut doesn't show as much. And then we will add this. And this will be easier for people like me with dexterity issues to put on the bracelet myself. Sorry, it took a little bit longer and I'm over the hour by 30 minutes. We just had a little impromptu class on loops. So That might be way too big. I don't know. I like it, actually. I might have to make the clasp smaller. Oh no, look at that. Right at 7 inches. Oh, what I was going to tell you. If you are new to bracelets or to beading, I'm going to plug this because a lot of new beaders think that the way that you measure a bracelet is by wrapping around your wrist once and then using that to be the length for your bracelet. And that's incorrect. Unless you are using itty bitty teeny tiny beads, like anything, even 4 millimeter beads, sometimes you need a little bit of extra room. But it's actually the inner diameter of the bracelet. And you have to realize that the larger the beads are that you use, half of that bead is encroaching on the inner diameter of your bracelet. So I came up with this. They make a paper one. They also make like a stepped one. I don't like the steps because I feel like beads get hung up on that. And then you don't get as accurate of a measurement as this. You slide it on and you go to the number and you know how big your bracelet is right then and there. So I would highly recommend getting this. They're $15. They're very inexpensive. Again, yeah, exactly. You have to have that room. But just the measuring itself, I have had people come to me and say, why are my bracelets always too big or too small? I don't understand. I'm measuring my wrist. I don't get it. And then I ask, what size beads are you using? And I generally hear that. And I'm like, it's not the length of the bracelet. It's the inner diameter, including the clasp, So the clasp has to be part of that measurement to get it correctly. You can also just add, you can always just add an extender chain, but not all people like those. The last show I did, I made sure that I had some very small, quick stretch bracelets that I would have people put on to find the measurement that they like. And then I could direct them to the bracelets that will, so that gives them a better idea and they're getting the fit that they want. Right, exactly. You have one though, Dorothy, right? In fact, I think you bought one for somebody else too. But yeah, if you'd like one, message me on Messenger, or my email is the same as my channel name. It's TT's Trinkets and Treasures at gmail.com. So that shouldn't be too hard to find me. And just, it's good. Just let me know if you want one or not, or just to keep that in mind. You're gonna wanna, if it's for you, obviously you can measure it on your wrist as you go. If it's for a show or for a gift, you definitely want to you're gonna want to have extender chains, at least have them available. You're also gonna want different size bracelets. So they can't all be 7 inches or 6.5 inches or 8 inches, anything like that. They need to be able to find a bracelet that fits them the way they'd like it. And not a lot of people like having the extender chain as the whole thing on the back of the wrist. Some do, because then when they're typing at work or whatever, it doesn't hit as often. But most people like a completed bracelet. So that's my little shameless plug for now. And I hope you had a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Maybe we learned a little bit of something. I will recommend to those of you who are newer breeders. I also do that. I'm a breeder and a beater, so there you go. Oh my gosh, what was I just gonna say? I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial. What I was going to say, I recommend that you go and watch at least a total of 5 people, 5 different videos. Most teachers have a loops video on their channel. So go there, watch that. And because the way I do my loops are a hybrid that I put together. The loops, but I originally learned and pieced together 2 or 3 people's way of doing it so that it worked best for me. You cannot, I will never say this is my way, it has to be done this way, because we all teach differently and we all learn differently. So I just want everybody to be happy. I want them to have confidence in the different techniques that they're wanting to try. And I hope that it is always, just that you're having a great, fabulous day, and that I will see you again next time. I am going to go record my beaded necklace now, but you guys have a wonderful day. And as always, happy beading.